Chris, you might have to defend so many different types of guys. Joel Embiid, Paul Reed comes off the bench a little smaller. Do you just stay to who you are as a defender, or do you try to kind of change depending on who you're guarding?
I mean, no, I would be the same defender. I just think that a couple of things that I've been focusing on because of the playoff is like guarding shooters and stuff, because I'm not always the base goal guy. I'm not always the guy that has to protect the rim, so sometimes I just got to stay on the shooters and all that. So that's the part that I'm working on. But everything else, I think I just got to do the hard plays, taking charges, protecting the rim, and hopefully, like I said, I could get more phenomenal blocks on the perimeter, because I don't want to leave my feet anymore. You guys get on me enough for that.
I guess I jumped ahead a little bit, but just with the playoffs, what does this mean to you in terms of the shift of what you have to do to approach these games?
I mean, everything counts this time, so you don't really get the chance to say, oh, okay, I'll do better next game, because in the, game one, let's say you make a mistake, it might cost the whole series. So I think that's the one thing that we're focusing on, is just limiting the mistakes and making the winning plays, because like I said, I've done a lot, but there's still a lot more I could do.
Chris, you and Precious have developed a very good rapport coming off the bench together. What is it about playing with him that makes you effective, and what do you think it is about you that makes him effective?
I think it's the energy. I think we come here with energy and wanting to run the floor, and then it brings you a different perspective. Because like I said, the same way that they felt like two bigs coming off the bench, it would be probably problematic. We find a way to make it problematic for them. So I think that's the one thing. Offensive rebound, transition, I think those are all key things that you're going to have to guard either one of me or him with a big. So that means the small is on somebody else, and that gives offensive rebounds and leaks out, and like I said, it clogs the paint too. So I think there's a lot of positive that we figured out that we're able to do together off the bench, but pretty much bringing the energy, I think that's one thing that takes over the game.
What part of his game have you been impressed with as developed from the course of the season? So I think we all agree he's a much better player today than he was in October. Mm-hmm. What have you seen playing with him?
His shooting. I think his shooting definitely helped him out, where you got to guard him on the perimeter, and then he could get to the lane a little bit. So I think that really helped his game. I feel like I had that my first year where I was going against the five. He's a little faster, we were a little faster, so it's easier to make those shots and drive by them, and I think Precious made the perfect read on that, and that's what makes him a good player now. He's able to play against different sides and make different decisions, and it's really beautiful to watch.
Chris, over the course of the season, you guys have really built this identity as a team that more often than not is going to win the possession battle, whether it's a few things you mentioned earlier, offensive rebounding, forcing turnovers. When in the season, or how quickly into the season, did you see that start to develop? Is that something that you really saw happening in training camp, or did it take a few weeks, a few months for it to really come together?
I think it took a couple of games, to be honest with you, because at training camp I didn't really play, so I didn't really get to see how I was going to play with Precious and all that. I didn't really know where my minutes was going to be, and like I said, I had a bad start too, so I think after realizing that, okay, well, offensive rebound is something that we could do every game, we started putting a lot more emphasis in it, and then after that, Precious started doing it too, and then we got Todd this year, and Scotty, Cam. I think it's something that we all saw that we were good at, and practice was coming, and then we realized, okay, we're doing that to each other, so we might as well do it to another team, and it really helped out. Like I said, when you start watching the games and you see that you got 47 shot to 37, that's 10 more shots that you got just off offensive rebound. That will win you games, and we made it something important for us.
You just mentioned doing it to each other in practice. And we've been hearing that all year from a lot of different guys at the practices from the get-go have been really competitive. Yeah. Have you noticed a noticeable difference in that, in the practices from years past?
Not really. I feel like every time I was with Toronto, we just got better every year towards the year. It's just because, people are just realizing what they're good at, and then after that they put things together, and you just realize that, okay, well, he's good at this, he's good at that, and then it's easy when you're in a game. You're like, remember when in practice you used to do this? Well, that's the time to do it. Remember you used to block those shots? Then it's time to do it. All these offensive rebounds you took on me, then go take it on somebody else. And that really helped out. We got guys like Fred Pascal reminding us of that all the time, and Coach. And I think everybody's focused on what they really could do, and it just all gelled together.
Chris, you talked about blocking shots versus taking charges.
Mm.
You led the team in charges. How tough is it for you, whose natural instinct is to block shots, is to fight that and stay down and stay?
I just realized that sometimes you just can't get there fast enough. I used to deflect a lot of shots and block it and get it right back to them to shoot a three and all that. So I was like, I need to figure out a way that when the times where I'm not there, or the times there where like I didn't get there fast enough, well, there's always a chance to take a charge, and I've started reading when people leave their feet when I had to get there, because when they leave their feet, they're really done. You can't really do anything anymore, and that's just the way of, Kyle was doing it all the time. Like I said, I can't emphasize on how much Kyle helped me on that, because Kyle did that to me on and on and on, because I leave my feet every time, and every time I took a drive, he'll just wait till I'm on my second step and then just put himself there and you can't do anything. And I started doing that to people now, and it's really, really helping.
How's OG looked in practice?
He's good.
Yeah.
OG's good, like I said. The last game when remember when OG didn't play for 2 weeks, he came back and looked like himself, like he didn't, that's how he is. Like I said, I think he's going to be ready for the playoffs. And I didn't see anything that made me feel like he wasn't ready.
You talked about his strength on your podcast.
Yeah.
Have you taken a charge on him in practice?
No. He don't drive. Like the guys that drive the most is like Precious, Pascal. Everybody else pretty shoot the ball. So, and OG shoots the ball a lot. So. Yeah.
And Chris, just to end off, we do have one question on Zoom. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, Chris. Fred was just in here saying that you guys got plan A, B, C, and D because Nick Nurse is your coach and he'll come up with something. For you, what is it like knowing that you have a coach who, by the time Game 4 rolls around, something totally different could be going on and they'll dream up something crazy?
It ain't no different no more. I think he did that all year. All year, even in the game, we switched like 4 coverage and went from boxing 1 to zone to man-to-man to a box man-to-man that I didn't even know was in the book that we just figured out. So, like I said, Coach been doing a really good job just to making sure that we knew we were ready for all the defensive scheming. And after that, whenever he says to do it, we just go there and execute. But it's a playoff, so what else? Who knows what else he has in this book that we didn't see yet? But it's going to come out and y'all going to see it and we all going to learn it at the same time, or we all gonna be surprised about the next thing that came out, and y'all gonna be saying, "Hey, Coach, be ready for this. Coach, be ready for that." And we just never know, to be honest with you. Like boxing 1 might come in, it might never come in again. You just never know.
And on a different topic, when you guys are defending Embiid, how much of your work has to be done before he gets even like the cross half court, or once he crosses half court, or before he gets the ball in his hands?
It really depends on who he's with on the floor, but to be honest with you, when Joel Embiid is in the game, you just got to be ready from the beginning. It doesn't even matter. By the time he gets the rebound, you got to realize that he's probably going to go get in a post, and we're probably going to have to double him and scramble and all that. So it really depends on who's on the floor, but I would say every time he has it, you got to be ready for it. It doesn't matter. Every time he's on the floor, you got to be ready for either a swarm, either a post move, a rebound, or anything. He's really good, to be honest with you. Like, that's one of the best player big that I've seen, and that's what requires when you play somebody like that.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.